What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Hardcast. We are here today doing the winner's interview with Brian Siu, the champion of Lobster Con, the North American Premodern Champion. So today I am joined by not only him, but two co-hosts in the booth. I have Jay and Ben next to me. You guys want to say hello to everybody?
No.
Oh.
Hey.
Jeez, it's rude. Coming in on a hot
Coming in
note.
real hot.
Hi, guys. What's going on, everybody? Very excited to be finally over with, well, not excited to be over with. Yeah, like get LobsterCon out of here. But it is very relieving to be we're done.
Yeah.
We are in the little honeymoon phase, or not honeymoon, I guess, I don't know, we're coming down.
Yes. Yeah.
Come down. It's not the honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember this from last year. It was like LobsterCon was over, but there was one final piece of work to do. And then, I guess presumably we're going to do our own recap. But today, this has nothing to do with us and everything to do with Mr. Brian. So, Brian, say hello to your fans.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm Brian Siu. Most people know me by my Magic Online handle, Dr. Seuss, and play in Premodern in Massachusetts. And pretty excited to be here to talk about my LobsterCon adventure.
Yeah, hell yeah. Have you still been grinding around on MTGO and still playing, or are you taking a break right now?
Taking a break. I actually slowed down my playing. Like slowed down is probably at a normal person's pace now. Around March, so March and April were pretty slow, and then after LobsterCon, I haven't played in anything other than last week's paper monthly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna be honest. If you were like, no, I came home and like immediately started grinding like leagues again, I would have been like, you're a madman.
You're
but
sicko.
yeah, exactly.
I do feel like I saw you online the night after LobsterCon, bro.
Probably logged on just to talk with some people, but I was pretty exhausted after LobsterCon.
No.
I think it took me like 3 days to recover physically. I like a headache, and it was awful.
It's a long couple of days.
You played the maximum amount of Magic possible at the event.
True.
Right. Definitely went through the ringer. Definitely through high pressure moments and all that type of jazz.
Yeah, I think next year I need to be more prepared and kind of realize I'm old, so I need to bring some protein bars or electrolyte packets or something to keep me at peak performance.
Oh, absolutely. I forgot that again this year too. I think I made a mental note before the weekend. I'm like, I need to bring snacks that aren't like candy and soda.
It's crazy what we put ourselves through in like our 20s or even younger sometimes. But it's like just multiple days and just like barely anything to eat, no water, just dehydrated.
No water, no sleep.
Yeah,
right. But you're built like Gumby.
Exactly. Yeah,
You just can.
It just rolls off you. And
Exactly.
You're just like, whatever.
Yeah. I was crushing electrolytes the entire weekend. Like, I bought a pack of 20 like electrolyte sticks, and I went through 15 of them over the course of 3 days. So I was doing
crazy.
pretty good.
Heard you were crushing naps in the booth too.
There was definitely some naps, but anyways, again, we're not here to talk about ourselves. We are not the subject of conversation today. Mr. Brian has the honor of being the premier guest and, again, the champion of North America. So, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of your background with Magic? Some of this has been covered on Monster of the Week already, but, again, another little victory lap for yourself. So tell us a little bit about your background with Magic and maybe speak a little bit to your Pro Tour experience as well.
Sure. I started playing the game around 1997. I remember Tempest was the new set that was out. My local store was run by Pro Tour 2 champion Sean Regner. So that's kind of where I learned how to play the game. So it was pretty competitive from the start. He taught me a lot about the game. And he would be kind enough to load me decks so I wouldn't have to, play what I had. I would just, right from the start, I was playing tier 1 decks. I probably wasn't fully competitive until around 2002. That's when I started traveling to playing qualifiers and I managed to qualify for my first Pro Tour. It was 2004, 2005. It was in Atlanta. On and off for a couple years. I think the last one was in that time period was 2011, and I did happen to qualify again in 2018, but it was just kind of accidental. I wasn't really trying to qualify, just happened to win a couple tournaments. So yeah,
So
Magic's always been like a pretty big part of my life. I mean, growing up, it gave me like the sense of community, and I've always kind of strived to play at the highest level. But thinking back, like back then, a lot of that sense of belonging was like tied to my accolades. So coming to Premodern, it feels a little different. I think the community is more tight knit, little more casual than I'm used to, and I feel like sometimes I struggle to reconcile what like the Magic I knew my entire life with the casual nature of Premodern. So it's been an adjustment to kind of work through, but I do feel like a great sense of belonging in the Premodern community, and I don't think it's tied to my accomplishments, and I think that's kind of what makes Premodern feel like coming home.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah, I do like I feel like Premodern has kind of the perfect competitive to chill vibe going on, where it's like the players are really good and everybody's playing good decks and people want to win, but you don't necessarily need to win. And you're playing at a high level, but it's still kind of don't be a dick REL. So I feel like it's really like a perfect blend, in my opinion.
It's also like not really huge stakes on the line ever.
Yeah.
Which I think can
that's
contribute
important.
to some of the more hostile competitive attitudes you get at like a RPTQ or something.
Right. Yeah. Our big tournaments are played for a card, which
Yeah.
has a decent monetary value, but it's not like anybody's winning thousands of dollars doing this. So,
Right.
but I was going to ask, like, what when you first qualified for the Pro Tour, what format was that?
Pro Tour Atlanta was team limited. It was
Oh, hell yeah.
Kamigawa. So day one was 3 different seal decks. So you do a seal deck, you play 2 rounds. Another seal deck, and day 2 was Team Rochester draft, where every
Oh, God,
round
that
was
one.
was a different draft.
Yep.
Wow.
What is Rochester draft? I don't even know.
That's where
yeah.
you lay out all the packs, right? Or the pack and pick individually, right?
Yeah, Brian, do you want to give a quick rundown for what Rochester Draft is?
Yeah, so each pack is opened up one at a time, and it's all laid out, and you go in order. So like seat A will pick from the open pack, and then seat B, and then you go around the table, and then wheels back around. And the communication rules back then were you could not communicate verbally, so there was a lot of hand signaling, and kind of you're trying to prevent your opponents from picking as much as you were picking for your own deck. So it's pretty, I don't know, people say it's like one of the best formats of all time, but it's very time consuming.
It's extremely skill testing, but at the same time, it's super time consuming. Didn't they only run like one PT with Rochester Draft? Or
No,
is that?
I think a lot of the
Did they do
the
a
limited
bunch
Pro
of them?
Tours
Oh,
were.
okay. Yeah, it's a very strange thing, but definitely something we've moved away from a lot. But now, so looking at so you've continued to play like Modern Magic up through PT Dom, is that right? That was kind of like the Pro Tour you said you kind of accidentally qualified for?
I took like a break from 2011 to 2018. By break, it wasn't like constant Magic, but I would play on demand. Like when someone wanted me to go to a tournament, I would just cram for a week to know the format and then go, and then afterwards I would just stop playing.
Okay, but you have still, I guess, just like looking through, you did definitely still play a lot of like modern Magic. So, out of curiosity, how does does Premodern fit an itch for you that is like that's the peak time of Magic for you, or is it just another format for you to play?
It's a little
how do you-
different. It does, I play Magic mostly for like the strategic puzzle element, so I still get that from Premodern, because it's like I feel like every tournament the configuration's a little different, especially post ban. It seems like new decks are evolving, so you have to shape your expectations based off of what you expect other people to play. So that part's really fun. But it's different in the sense like I don't really feel the need to constantly play. Like I'm not really traveling that far to play, so it's also a lot less stressful to kind of manage a Magic schedule like I had in the past.
For sure.
Cool. Okay. You guys have anything else before we?
No, I guess let's talk about Lobster Con. Well, actually, I do want to. So, you took a break from 2011 to 2018. You said, and then when did you get into Premodern?
It was the tail end of 2024.
Okay.
My friend Chris Roy in 2024 had won a regionals, the summer regionals or spring regionals, one of the regionals.
We remember.
Yeah. That
And,
was sick.
Yeah.
That was his first tournament.
Yeah.
And after that, he was trying to like convince all his friends to play. And at first, I was like, no thanks, not interested. But I don't know. He proxied all the decks. He brought it to like I think one of our cube nights that we have with like a couple mutual friends, and I started looking at the decks. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I watched the Lobster Con coverage, watched all of it, and I was like, I gotta buy some of these decks. So I started like I bought like Stifle Knot, I bought Replenish, Goblins, like pretty much anything that I thought felt a little nostalgic or like reminded me of similar decks in the past. So yeah, I've been playing since then.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I definitely have. I personally have a lot of stories of like very similar things getting people into it because, I got into the format like 2023 and then had told a ton of people about it, and everybody was kind of did the same thing of like, nah, like I don't need another format, like not really interested, and then you get kind of just hooked on the gameplay. It's just it is that good, at least in my opinion. That I think a lot of people, once they get a taste of it, it's like, oh, this is like, it's balanced. There's a super wide open meta, and it makes people very quickly become converts, I think.
Yeah. You just do what you want. And then coming from standard or something like that, where you just start picking one of two decks,
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
And the vibes are great.
Oh,
That's
and
of
that's,
course. And the community
So-
that you mentioned earlier, Brian, is a huge factor for, I think, why people stay.
I think exactly.
They come for the old cards and they stay for the...
People come for the gameplay. They get hooked on like, wow, this is how I want Magic to be. And then even people like, I mean, all of us have gone through periods of like burnout or whatever, but it's the community that makes you come back, and that's what really makes Premodern special.
Yeah. And the cruise.
Absolutely agree.
The cruise. We should also,
I
guess, touch upon Squee's House of Pizza.
Yeah, so I think this is a good time to reveal something to my co-host, actually, real quick. And so you're not going to get the full effects. This is a video, not a video episode.
Oh,
See those?
Whoa.
See those?
Wow. Did you win those in a raffle?
No, I didn't, but I saw... Brian, I have Squee's House of Pizza socks on right now.
Yeah, so Ben just showed
nice.
off his socks.
Yeah.
For Squeeze House of Pizza socks.
I saw them come out of the raffle at Lobster Con. I was like, oh, those are cool. I got to get myself a pair of those.
That's so sick.
Where'd you scoop them?
I ordered them from their website.
Yeah,
Really?
They do,
Shops
yeah.
has a website?
Oh, they sure do.
Wow.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know this. This is cool. But yeah, so wait, was Chris Roy a former teammate of yours in the Pro Tours?
He wasn't a teammate for the Pro Tours, but for the local New England scene, he was kind of like a mainstay. Like he was known way before I was of being like a deck innovator, a control player.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's hard to say when I first met him, but I remember working with him for several New Hampshire State championships where in 2002, I think he just like handed me the deck and we placed first and second with him winning the tournament. So
That's
that
so
was
sick.
one of my early memories of him.
That is very sick.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so Squeeze House of Pizza, we call y'all shops, which is a pretty hard acronym, I have to say. But yeah, y'all come correct. You've been putting up big results locally. You took down the first CCL, the Crew Clash League, here in New England, which we kind of wanted to do like a quick zine pod style on, and then everything with Lobster Con just got in the way of that. But yeah, y'all took that one down, and you definitely show up when it comes to the charity raffles with the mystery pizza boxes that are super sick and always stacked.
So good.
Yeah, Shops has been on a heater for at least since the beginning of the year, if longer.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And in, I think, good position to take down the second quarter, too.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think basically at least everybody in Dress Crew, whenever we've talked about it, has agreed that Squeeze House of Pizza is like. I think by the how many people do you guys have in that crew?
We have 8.
8, and I would say for a relatively like small-ish crew, small to medium size, you guys almost certainly have like the most talent as just by the numbers.
Oh, I mean,
like,
yeah. I mean, before the Crew Crash League was a thing, I just remember getting paired up against a lot of these guys at ELDs and just being like, all right, here we go. This is going to suck. And then once the Crew Crash League started, I'm like, oh, great, they're all on the same team now.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, you guys have been killing it. So did you, so I guess, do you want to move into LC?
Sure.
And I'm assuming you traveled, or actually, so you're pretty local. Where are you at?
I'm in the Metro West. I live in Ashland, which is
okay.
right next to Framingham.
Yeah. I grew up in Hopkinton, so very familiar with the area. But so did you travel into Boston with all the shops guys?
Yeah, we all stayed at the Marriott. We went down Thursday afternoon, so I took an Uber from my house to the Marriott, and I was there until Sunday.
Hell yeah!
Nice. Did you guys jump into the action on Thursday at
Oh yeah,
Pandemonium?
So sorry, go on. I don't know if you guys played any Pandemonium.
No, we didn't. I'm not a big side events person. I'd rather just unwind and
hang out at
think
Flat
about
Tops.
my main event. Like I put no thought into side, like even like the day 2 side events. I had never considered that I wouldn't be playing in the main event. It just never crossed my mind to make like a fetch land deck.
Confidence. I love it. Good.
Oh, I was just gonna say because I saw a couple of you guys at Flat Tops before.
Yeah,
on
you guys
Thursday.
did stop by. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we were there hanging out and saying hi to people. I think it was a great time to just unwind.
Were you guys there for a while?
Couple hours. I think.
Okay.
Eventually, we migrated outside because the weather was nice, and we were just kind of hanging out. And I was watching people play AAA.
Oh yeah, the AAA jams outside were perfect.
Right. Yeah, I definitely got caught up in the revelry for sure. It was a great time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that night for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you were going.
we closed the place down.
Yeah. Sick. But okay, so you guys hung out for a little bit and then just went back to the hotel and rested up essentially?
Well, it was actually I was up until midnight trying to figure out like my deck because I had heard that at Pandemonium there was a lot of Moneyball and Goblin, so I was going through like every iteration of my deck, like remapping, like what if I had this card? What would I take out? And like every iteration of what I could take out, I was remapping the whole thing. And I was like texting with people just to get feedback. So I don't know. I didn't really get to bed until like 1 o'clock.
I
Okay.
love that.
Do you have like a decent sized community that you've been working on this deck with?
Yeah, I mean, mostly I work with Squee's House of Pizza. I get most of my feedback from them, but I also have met a lot of people. Like on Magic Online, I worked with a couple guys from New York. I think they're Long Island people, Tom and Johnny. But also, like, I look at what the Replenish Discord also talks about to get ideas, and sometimes I'll message some people to get like further details on what they're thinking.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this kind of goes into the thing that I was going to move into as well. But I mean, you were on Monster of the Week pretty recently, the podcast with Anton and Seb, and you did a super deep dive into Replenish with Anton. So we don't need to go as deep into the deck because we can just kind of point people to that podcast right now, which is one of my favorite podcasts. I've been listening to that since like 2019. Great dudes, great interview there, tons of information. But how much change did you make in your deck since then? I know that some like Sabo's Web was a mainstay in your deck for a long time, and I believe that got moved into the sideboard for this event. You were on Mana Leaks. You took Meddling Mages out of the main deck. So
Yeah, that was a big thing.
yeah, like when did a lot of this innovation happen, and how much of it happened the night before the event?
I guess it went through two major changes, but I don't really think of lists as being like this is what the deck should be. I think lists are like individualized for a specific tournament and only relevant for that one tournament. So the two big changes was for the winter regional, whatever the February regional was.
Yep.
That's when I moved Melee Mages to the main. I think it went down to 2 Decrees and 3 Swords in the main, and that was the kind of a reaction to what I assumed would be a lot of control decks, a lot of Psychotog and Landstill and Stifle Not. I just wanted more of a hedge in game 1 against them. And then I guess the next iteration would be for Lobster Con, in anticipation of Moneyball and Goblins. I went back up to 4 Swords, moved the Mages to the sideboard. I think I really wanted to get 26 land in. I really wanted to get 4 Seals and 3 Abeyance, and those are mostly a nod towards like Enchantress and what I assumed would be more mirror matches.
Okay.
So yeah, with all that in mind, I kind of just like I knew what I wanted to fit into the deck. It was just balancing out to figure out what I was okay losing.
Yeah. How about I think that the Mana Leaks are new to me. The Miser's Abeyance is new, and then I think you also went up on Frantic Search, right? And maybe down on Intuition because it's 3 Frantic, 3 Intuition. I'll read the deck list in a minute, but I want to hear your thoughts on that stuff.
Yeah, the Frantic's Intuitions have always stayed at 3 for tournaments. The Mana Leaks were a recognition that I needed something for Armageddon because the Esper Psychotog had kind of risen in popularity, so that plus Terrageddon was enough for me to say I need some answer to Armageddon. I can't just like sit back and do nothing. And landed on 2. I felt like I never needed a second one, but I also strongly felt I wanted 3 Abeyance, so it just worked out that the numbers allowed me to play 1 Abeyance in the main. I don't think it hurts that much to have 1.
Very cool.
Now, actually, I have a question now. I will apologize. Much like Hardcast, I don't listen to Monster of the Week, so maybe this is something that was covered on that episode. But the Decree of Silence, obviously being so Tide got banned, and pretty quickly, I feel like the Decree of Silence became stock. You can go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
Was that so? Just like looking at lists, you were the first one I see as like the oldest Decree of Silence posted list. Was that like a innovation that you found from somebody else? Was that something that you found yourself? Was it just kind of the hive mind collectively came to playing Decree of Silence in that spot? And how do you feel like that card has been? Obviously, it changes certain matchups and plays a very different role from Tide. But just tell me about the card in general.
Yeah, it's hard to attribute recognition to like one source for anything in Magic. The Decree of Silence, it was mentioned in Martin Berlin's ban article that he suggested. So maybe he's the first person.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah.
But I think I was the first person to have a published list with it, and
Yep.
I wasn't even meaning to. Like, it was. I entered a Magic Online challenge with it, just like on the whim, because people were saying that Replenish was dead. So I was like, oh, I'll just run this challenge and see what happens. And it was enough to get published. I forget how I placed. I think it was the top 16. So nothing great, but it's not awful. But that kind of
Yeah, it was like 13th
sparked the
place,
idea
yeah.
that maybe there's something here. So I've been iterating on it since then and trying to come up with good versions of the deck. And I think other people also felt the same way because it started to pick up steam. And after the ban, I think people were trying different things. I think Dance of the Many or Pandemonium. People were trying different color splashes, but eventually those ideas went away, and everyone has been appreciating the Decree more.
For sure. And yeah, I'm looking at your first list. And like honestly, pretty close. You had Mana Leaks back then. You were playing 26 lands instead of 25 at Lobster Con. And then other than that, looks like a lot of the same stuff. 3 Seal Cleansing versus 2. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how in Premodern a lot of stuff will circle around and then you end up almost ending up right back where you were. Time is a flat circle.
I mean, there's not too much that can change with Replenish. The core of the deck is pretty static. You have the combo pieces, so a lot of the innovation comes with like small number changes. Like I think 25 versus 26 is pretty big. I think 2 to 4 Seal Cleansings is pretty big. 2 to 3 Decrees is big. So it's like just understanding like what you expect the field to be and tuning those numbers, I think, is really important for the deck.
For sure. Now, what did you expect? I'm sure you looked at the meta numbers that we put out and everything. How did the meta percentages of the room shape up compared to what you were like expecting going into the event?
I think it matched almost exactly. So going into the event, I didn't know what I want to play a month out. I wanted to try different things because I didn't want to default to Replenish just because it was, the deck I play the most. But at the end of the first 2 weeks of April, I had to make a decision. I can't just like test forever. So I set up this like decision matrix where I plotted out all the decks I expect to face and all the decks I'm considering. And pretty much just like I mashed up the 2 Massachusetts April tournaments into one. And that was like my population, which coincidentally did match up exactly with the Lobster Con meta.
Whoa.
Nice. So you did expect Mono Black to be because Mono Black was, I think, the big surprise to me. I did not expect it to be the second place meta share, I believe, behind Dreadnought.
Yeah, because that was largely from the data from the Zoo Crew Shoe City event where they had a large Mono Black presence. So
They did.
That was one of my populations when I put together this matrix.
For sure. And then just looking at the day 2 meta percentages, and I mean Replenish overall, I think it was definitely it was a smart call because it had one of the higher conversion percentages and was the largest meta share. So it was definitely it's something that I'm sure, as easy as it is to look back and just be like, yeah, I played the deck that obviously you have played the most, you also did make kind of the correct call, I think. I think that's totally a fair thing to say.
Yeah, I can't complain.
No, for sure.
So, yeah.
It's kind of funny how everybody just had Dreadnought and Enchantress on their radar when the finals of our last regional was Replenish versus Replenish, and then Thursday night was Replenish versus Replenish.
Was it
Yeah,
Thursday?
Pandemonium.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right?
Real.
I'm like 95% that was a
I think
Replenish
you're
mirror.
right.
What's it going to take?
And then
people to respect-
Lobster
yeah.
Con finals, Replenish versus Replenish.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it was there the whole time, and everybody was kind of choosing to ignore that it is one of the boogeymen of the format. Do you feel like Replenish is an S tier deck in Premodern? Like, do you think that it's top 3 right now?
Yeah, I do think it's one of the top decks. I think it's one of the most powerful decks. It certainly can fall victim to hate, like, very easily if people pack a ton of hate for it. But if it's just like hate adjacent, where it's like you just have a few cards, that's okay. Like Replenish can kind of power through a small amount of hate.
What would be the adequate amount of hate asking for a friend?
I think beating Replenish, you kind of have to attack it from multiple angles. So graveyard hate plus aggression is a common way that Replenish would lose. Or if you attack someone's hand and their hand and their life. So it's like any combination of between card advantage, whether that be card draw or discard, attacking someone's life or their lands. So like that in combination would be tough for Replenish because you need to sculpt like the right setup. So if you're pressuring me from two fronts, it's hard to get to that spot.
Now, just out of curiosity, what are there any decks in particular that you really just hope to dodge and or I guess even a better way of phrasing it is if everybody post Lobster Con is like, well, me and all my friends, we looked at the top 8, we saw Replenish in the finals, we're bringing Replenish to our next big tournament, and you being the the meta-minded person that you are, maybe you decided instead of playing mirrors all day, you wanted to try and attack the meta from a different angle. What would you want to sit down with if you knew Replenish was going to be on the other side of the table?
I think a faster combo deck would be pretty good. Like Replenish doesn't want to see Devour. HFEB can be tricky because they're pretty much doing the same thing as you. They have discard into their combo, and Replenish has like card selection into their combo. So it's whoever gets there first.
No, that definitely makes sense.
It's a pretty short list.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. So everybody either start playing Replenish or
learning your HFEB lines.
learn your Feb lines. Ooh, gross.
Yeah. Ugh, yeah.
Is it the combination of discard as well out of Feb because like that seems on paper like it wouldn't be too bad. You have a Swords to Plowshares to kind of attack whatever you need to in the early game. Say it's a Hermit Druid or just even slowing them down on their survival game plan, and then it seems like Wave plus Opalescence just would clean them up. But is it the discard that's kind of giving them the edge there?
Yeah, the discard buys them time, but I think there's an almost equal amount of disruption versus combo pieces. I guess like they have like more universal hate cards if they play Crypt or Gloom, and discard's kind of universal, whereas Replenish's interaction hits half of their combo, like Swords or Seal. So you can get a misalignment of answers, which is pretty bad. So it's not a matchup I want to see that often.
Okay.
Right on.
So why don't we move to day of Lobster Con? Just starting off, I mean, this is your first time at the Dante. It was a beautiful, sunny, cool, pleasant day. How'd you wake up? How were you feeling? First impressions of walking into the Dante, which is, become like Mecca for some of us.
Well, I did play Lobster Con last year as well.
Oh,
Well,
So
there
I
you
was-
go.
did you? I didn't even realize that. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that was unknown to everyone last year.
How did you do last year?
Poorly. I think I had like one more win than loss or something bad like that.
Were you on Replenish?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
What got you last year? Was it tied?
I really don't remember.
Yeah, that's a fair answer.
Fair.
I don't even remember this past weekend.
Yep.
How do you feel about the loss of Tide, by the way?
I'm all for it. I think it made Replenish better and it made every other deck worse. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
remember
happy
you
with
telling me you think it made Replenish better, and I was like, all right, well,
That's
if
crazy.
anybody
Yeah,
knows it's
yeah.
you, so I'm gonna take your word for it. That sounds good. Yeah, all right.
well, having to
Not what
not
I've
play
expected.
around opposing tides is
Right.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's
there
huge.
is that, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that Tide was the best or was a better card in Replenish. It's just that it was really good against Replenish.
Yeah. Do you feel like
Well,
it
not
had
having
to
Tide
go?
also slowed down the field. Like there's more mid-range decks, which allows
Mm.
Replenish like more time to set up. So you like the Kree is like often like a better lock than Tide, but you need time to sculpt it. You can't hard cast it. But if
True,
the format's
true.
slowing down, then it gives Replenish like time to get into the graveyard and then bring it back.
That makes sense.
Do you feel like Tide needed to go?
I don't know about need. Like, I'm not really in tune with like people like to talk about bans, unbans. It's not really how I think about things. Like, I do think banning it opened up the field more for other people, so that's great. But for me, it's just like I play the game with the pieces I have. I don't really care what the pieces are. I use the analogy of like chess. So if you play chess, you're like, oh, the queen is so broken. You can move it this way and that way. I wish it was banned. Like, well, what if it was banned?
Exactly. That's
Would you
not
be a better chess player?
Yeah.
Or would you be the same because you spend your time thinking about the pieces too much?
For sure. It's not any of our decisions anyways, so
Yeah.
why waste the energy over it, I
Yeah.
guess.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to LobsterCon, though, your second time walking into the Dante, walking into Mecca, how are we feeling going into the event? How is the vibe with the crew and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, pretty good. We started off every day with a good breakfast at the Marriott Hotel restaurant, and it's pretty good breakfast considering like most hotel breakfasts aren't good.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's a big deviation from routine already because you ate breakfast that day.
well, I knew I wouldn't be able to eat that much
That's
throughout
a good
the day,
call.
so
That
I
is
needed
true.
to
Yeah.
deviate a little from my norm. But no, I felt good. It was a good day. It wasn't like hot and muggy like the prior year.
Yeah.
Met up with a lot of the team on site and kind of distributed the swag that we'd be handing out to people and just kind of chilled until the event started.
What was your swag this year that y'all were giving out?
We put like stickers on the table, but each crew member had different color poker chips to hand out to people.
Oh,
So
right.
depending
So
on who you
cool.
played, you get a different selection of poker chips.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I did get one of those from Chris. That was sick. That was very sick. Nice. Okay. Well, is it time for Swiss?
Yeah, sure. So now, how much of your tournament, like, is it in your head? It's a blur because I know some people are totally different. Some people can literally remember every single turn that they took throughout the entire tournament. Me, I'm like, I played some rounds. I know that much. But,
Yeah.
Usually my
how's-
memory comes back if you kind of
if we
prompt
jog
I think
it.
we got it right here,
Yeah.
right?
Let me see if
Or is what am I looking at?
that's just the standings. But let's see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can do this through Spice Rack and go round by round here.
Problem is it's not, the searching isn't working. So all right, so started off with Zach Clark.
Ooh, big name, round one.
Yeah, and I didn't know that he was a big name when I played against him. I found out like days later that he makes content. I just thought he was a guy with a really cool outfit. He wore like this
hell yeah.
what was it, like a Pac-Man suit.
Yeah.
So very nice guy. So he was playing
It's like Zombie
Zombie
Infestation.
Infestation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
and this is the just like the straight control version. So this seems like it could be challenging, although Parallax Wave does such a good job at answering all the tokens.
Yeah, I think the first two games were pretty uneventful. I think the only thing that came up was I had two opalescents in the wave, and he played Sickening Dreams, and I needed to save one of my opals. It wasn't too tough to navigate, but like, I guess I could have missed it. I did get lucky in the match because in game 3, he had a Psychotog and a zombie token, and I went for one of the two replenishes in my hand, and he gushed and foiled. And then on his turn, he counted his graveyard in his hand and said, I think I got you. He attacks. But he didn't play an island from his hand to activate the wonder, so I blocked with the Meddling Mage. And then I went to my turn and cast my second replenish to win.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Pretty lucky to get away with that one.
That's crazy.
I mean,
yeah.
good on you for seeing the block too, because a lot of the time somebody has a wonder in their bin, and you're
Yeah,
just
like,
oh,
the wonder's there.
this guy's got flying.
yeah.
I'm screwed.
It previously had flying, so now
Right.
it's stamped on the card in my head. So,
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, squeaking it out round 1.
All right.
Also, that was a Miser Psychotog out of Zach's deck, which is
Yeah, just the one of.
yeah.
Well, he got lucky.
Is it the one of?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
it was
It's
one of it is
Oh yeah,
sideboard.
we're sitting with perfect information back here. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah, wait, well, how come you didn't know that in the moment?
Because it wasn't open deck.
Yeah, which actually, while I pull up the next couple of rounds, out of curiosity, how did you feel about that? About the day 2 open deck lists?
So I loved it for
Hell yeah.
a lot of reasons. One, I felt like most people would know what I'm playing, so it kind of evened the field. You know, if I knew what they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, I felt like I used the information a lot more than my opponents. Like I felt like I was playing on another level because they would look at my list and they would focus so much on the sideboard when it's not even game 2 yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm just looking at their main deck, figuring out how the first couple turns are gonna play, and then after sideboard, they would again focus on the sideboard. But like if you do any amount of testing, you don't need to know what they have in their sideboard. You just know what's coming in. So what I was doing was like I was mapping what was coming out and trying to like fit in the cards, and that helped me like decide, oh, you side out these cards, but you still have a ton of removal. Maybe I don't bring in the Exalted Angels, or maybe you don't have enough. So it's like I felt like I was playing on like I was using information a lot better. That's just my impression. Maybe I'm wrong, but
no, that makes a lot.
I
of
never
sense
felt
to
like
me.
my opponents like capitalized on it, or they would focus too much on like what is obvious.
I think that's totally. I think being able to look at your opponent's deck list and say, okay, how are they sideboarding? Like, what is their mapping most likely going to be? And then kind of leveling up your sideboarding to, okay, how can I sideboard to beat their sideboarding is right there. Is
Yeah,
huge.
I mean, it's understandable if you've never done it before, but to me, it's like this is second nature. I've done this like a million times in the past with like top 8 open deck lists. So like, I kind of
That's what I was gonna
understand
ask
what I
if-
need to spend my time on.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a good amount of experience doing this, playing with
Yeah.
open deck lists.
Yeah.
Okay. Sick.
All right.
Were you stoked when you saw that we were doing that?
Yeah, I thought it would benefit me. I wasn't quite sure how much it would benefit me, but it turned out maybe I wouldn't have won if it wasn't open deck list. Like it certainly felt a lot. I felt like the back half of the tournament was significantly easier than the first half.
Okay,
All right.
That's so sick.
that is really sick, and it's. I mean, it's super skill testing, and it's one of the cool things about Magic is that I think it's so easy to have a good run or have a bad run and be like, I just got lucky, or my opponents just got lucky, and then you see good players consistently do well, and it's like, okay, well, maybe there is something to this.
Yeah.
So it looks like you did take
Into
round two
here.
Took an early loss.
Yeah, round 2, I think I played against Stiflenot.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, game 1, he just had the typical Stiflenot draw, like turn 2, Dreadnought, double back up. So that was, I lost that one pretty quickly.
Yep.
Uh,
They just had it.
game 2 was all about meddling mages, and against control, Replenish kind of turns into like a meddling mage control deck. So, the meddling mage kind of just went all the way and did 20.
Nice.
Then in game 3,
7.
I think it was kind of a heartbreaker for me because I'd sculpted the game where he had used a good amount of counters, and with an attunement, I sculpted my hand to be mage, replenish, and I couldn't play all 3 on the same turn, but I played the first 2 mages, naming counterspell and thwart, which leaves only 1 foil in his deck as a live counter. And then when I went to play the replenish, he had the foil, and then he started playing things that dismantle my mages, and then he drew the dreadnought, and then it was bad news.
How do you feel about this matchup? Because earlier you were saying, one of the key to beating Replenish is having 2 different types of pressure, between discard, life total, graveyard. And Dreadnought doesn't seem like it pressures you that much unless they have that fast Dreadnought opener with backup. So how do you feel about this matchup? Do you think that you're favored or advantaged or disadvantaged?
I think overall I'm positive on the match. I think the tricky part is understanding exactly what tools they have, whether they're continuing to jam Dreadnought or if they kind of pivot and they go brain freeze. You got to have a different answer suite. So that to me is like, if I don't know you as a player, I just have to guess what I think it is, and sometimes it can be an educated guess based off of like what you see game 1. If you see like sleight of hand or daze, then it's more likely to be one version than the other. But like the more I know you as a player, the easier the match gets, which is kind of also a nod to like any open decklist situations that there might be.
The brain freeze plan does seem really good against Replenish.
Yeah, if you know it's there, you just kind of be aggressive, or you start like locking them out with mage. But if like you don't want to use those resources if they don't have it.
Right. Do you bring in Exalted Angel in the matchup?
I do. It's just another threat, like puts them on the clock.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of what I thought. Cool. All right. So moving on to round 3. You played against Jason on Psychotog. Is this? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so this is the
Espertog.
next level Tog, Espertog. Yeah.
Geddon's in the board, though, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a...
This looks a little more control-y than your normal build.
Yeah. Do you remember this matchup?
Yeah.
I don't remember it too well. I think
both this and
I
round
think it just
4
like
were
played
pretty
out
quick.
as I would expect it. Like usually against control, you just kind of like, you don't want to go for it unless you have enough in your hand to sequence the next 4 turns, because like the worst thing you can do against like a control deck is to play something they counter, play something they counter. You do nothing, they refill their hand. Like you play into them because they can't use their card draw if their hand is at like 7, right?
Right.
So you kind of have to like sequence, like, all right, I know what I'm doing for the next X turns. It's time to go for it, and just like you create an opportunity to land a haymaker, like to land a replenish. So it's like you just try to like bait out counters, and then hope that at the end like they run out, because they don't have that many counters, and everything you play is like really good. They're gonna run out.
Right. So kind of like just like slow roll, like one spell a turn, baiting out the counter spells, not letting them,
Yeah, it starts off as 1, but you do get to like the 6 mana, then you can start like replenish, mana leak, or abeyance, replenish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you do like kind of like pivot the game into a spot where like it forces them to either like have all the answers, and you don't give them time to card draw their way back to a good hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need that one more haymaker than they have counter.
Cool.
So, let's see. Round 4 was against Feb, and looks like that was also a pretty quick 2-0. Or I guess not. I have no idea on time, but that was against Clara, playing pretty classic. Yeah, just Hermit Feb.
Yeah. A couple Eladamri's Vineyards, 2 Lion's Eye Diamonds, kind of spicy.
Ooh, two vineyards.
Yeah, I think I got lucky in this match, but I never quite understand what HFM is doing. Like every time I think I'm losing, I win. Every time I think I'm winning, I lose.
Right.
Is
yeah.
is LED normally in Feb?
I don't think so.
Well, yeah,
Do
okay.
whatever you want in Feb, baby.
I guess. I'm trying to see what that's for, but I actually have. Jesus Christ, this cat has the zoomies.
Yeah, my cat decided now is the time.
Now we are go mode. Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend to understand the LEDs here, but so yeah, just kind of a match. I'm assuming where they didn't have it and it worked out for you.
So game 1, she had turn 2 Hermit, and I on my turn 2 was just Island Ancient Tomb. So if on her turn 3, if she had gone for the win, she would have won. But I think maybe she was hesitant to like I would have Mana Leak, I guess is the only answer. So she played it safe and just played Volrath Shapeshifter. So I just used that turn to Intuition for waves and then replenished and won from there. And
Alright.
in game 2, she went turn 1 Burst, turn 2 Gloom, turn 3 Survival. And I had to I had to play Meddling Mage for 5 mana, naming Unearth, knowing that it would just buy me 1 turn. And then the next turn I played a second Meddling Mage for 5 mana, and I named Volrath Shapeshifter, I think. So she had to get a Hermit and play the Hermit, and in her upkeep she activated it and then used Crows and Wreck. I cycled Decree to counter the Crows and Wreck, and she decked.
Whoa.
I was going to ask earlier when we were talking about Decree if there were any moments recently where you had cycled it for a counter. And so it sounds like there definitely was. That's sick
That is so sick.
that came up.
Well, I feel like I got really lucky to get away with that one because turn 2 Gloom and Survival is pretty scary.
That is very scary.
I was gonna say when you started talking about how she set up there, I'm like, that seems like how the fuck did you win that one?
Yeah.
That's a nice opener out of
5 mana
Feb.
meddling mages.
Notably, she was only on 1 Duress. I don't know how stock that is for their deck, but 1 Duress and 3 Therapy. So, again, going back to having the multiple angles of attack, you were pretty safe there from the discard, which is definitely really nice for you.
Mm-hmm.
So going into the next round, we have Bryson on his Super Wayfarer deck. I didn't just catch what this went to, if it was 2 or 3, but this is a really good, it's kind of like Terrageddon Light almost, like you're playing something close to a Terrageddon game plan, but then you have counter spells.
And no Terravores.
Yeah, obviously no Terravores, but you still have kind of the Cataclysm-y,
or Armageddon.
Mox Diamond, Library,
This is a cool
Wayfarer
deck.
type thing going on. So how did this match go?
Yeah. Going into the match, I didn't know who this person was, but it turns out I think this person is quite well known for their innovative brews online. I forget their name, but people always, it might be like Slow King.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know at the time. I just he was playing this 4-color deck, and I was kind of confused about what it was doing. And I remember game 1 was really tough because at one point he had 3 meddling mages in play. Like he played the first one naming Sword, and I played Wave. So he was forced to name Opalescence with the second mage, and then he played Replenish for the third. And then when the Wave went away and the first mage came back, he named Wave. And that gave me an opportunity to sword the one naming Replenish and then replenish everything back. So that was pretty tricky to navigate. I think he also had turn 1 Furnace in both games.
Wow.
I think it was only just 2 games, but turn 1 Furnace, which is also kind of tough. Game 2, if I remember correctly, it was an Angel race. So I played Morph, he played Morph. And I think I chose not to unmorph to get more setup with attunement. So he unmorphed first. But with my attunement, I was able to find swords. And then then I think I got back at the Kree with Replenish, and then I unmorphed. I remember at the end, he was still like tanking. I showed my hand with like 2 Replenishes, and he conceded.
Okay.
And that locked it up.
Interesting. What was your life at in game 1 when you were finally able to get the mage off the board? That seems like a very oppressive start from him.
Yeah, it must have been. Oh, I think this is the one where I was at 1.
Oh my god.
Because when I played the Replenish, I didn't have Opal, so I played it off of Ancient Tomb, so I needed time to like get the lands to play Opal, and I was at 1, and it just worked out where like when I had the last counter on wave, I was able to get the 4th land for Opal and kind of lock it up. But even in that moment, if he had the swords for the wave, then it would get removed from the game, and I would also be in a tough spot then. So things have to like line up pretty well.
Yeah, that's so wild. That's sick.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next round, we have
Round
Fritz.
6.
Yeah, round 6. We're 4-1 at this point, and we get paired against Fritz Hoffman on just looking like Moneyball Black, basically. A 4 Dark Ritual mono black deck with specters and rats and wretches and all that stuff. Notably, no Knight of Stromgald, which seemed to be a bit of a theme for the weekend, is that the mono black players were slacking on their knights.
The big miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think without things like Knight and Nantuko, they lack the pressure. Like once they capitalize on the discard and get us both low on cards, and we're just like drawing off the top. But if they don't have like strong pressure, it gives me a lot of time to try to get back into it, and that's kind of how this match played out. He had really strong openers in both the games. Game 1, he went Ritual, Cabal Therapy, naming swords, and then it's funny because when I revealed my hand, he wrote it down, and I picked up my hand, and then he said, "Oh, I forgot to write down the land. Can you show me?" I'm like, all right, well, I'll show him my hand again. And then he wrote it down. I picked it up. He played the rats. I discarded the card. Then he flashback therapy. He said, "I think I wrote down your hand wrong. Can you show me again before I name?" Like, you should call it. You should ask the judge. I don't want to answer these questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like stripped my hand. But we were just playing land go, and like, I think he played maybe a few small guys, but I ended game 1 by playing Intuition for Replenish and Frantic Search, discarding Wave and Opal and replenished everything back. So it was pretty much like classically how that match usually plays out. And game 2, he had a similar start. He went double Ritual into Therapy, naming swords, and then Spectre. And then he had turned to Wasteland for my land, and he attacked with Spectre like 4 or 5 times before I was able to play a wave. But from there, it's like all your pressure's kind of gone, and it's just like everything I draw is pretty good. Mm-hmm. I think I just like eventually got the 2-man and got all the stuff going.
Yeah, I feel like those double Dark Rid hands are kind of a trap because you just go so low on resources right off the bat, and then like your clock is just so slow that it's like it's really hard for you to continue to actually pressure and progress your game plan. Like you just pretty much spent everything on turn 1, and
and your top decks are going to be so much worse.
Well,
it's definitely very scary when they do, because you know what they're going to deploy.
Yeah, how do you feel about the mono black matchup in general? I mean, obviously it depends. Like Fritz didn't have Glooms in his sideboard, so and he didn't have Knights of Stromgald, but like, how do you feel about mono black in general, and how much of a spectrum is there depending on what they're playing?
So most of my testing with it against it was earlier, like in February, and back then it didn't have the Knight or Nantuko, and it was a pretty favorable matchup then. I have since not played against like the full Knights version, but from what people tell me, it's bad. So I was kind of worried about that version, but seeing like it was the Rats version, I'm okay with that match.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. All right, 6. So we are 6-1 now. Moving
5-1, I think.
5-1 something.
Yeah.
Moving into round 7, and we get paired against Ricardo on.
So, so are you officially locked for day 2 at this point, though? Right?
Yes.
With that win.
I
Yeah.
believe.
Even-
Or no,
no, I
five,
think I need
5-1.
6, right?
One more. Yeah.
Oh, one more. I'm sorry. Yep.
So
Okay.
this is the match to lock up
Here
day
it is.
2.
Okay, and so we're playing against Moxless Gat here. So
Yeah.
how did this one go, and how do you like this matchup in general? The new variations of slower Gat, but more cards to work with.
First off, this person was like the nicest person I played against all weekend. Like super friendly. We were just like, I think he said he was from Brazil. He kind of told me
hell
about
yeah.
like, coming to Lobster Con. So it was really nice to meet him. Grotog it can be tough because it's like we're both. I assumed it was like a meddling mage control matchup. I don't think he actually had meddling mage. So
No mages. Yeah.
It was maybe it was a little bit easier than I thought going in. I don't remember too much. I think it went to like game 3.
Yep. Yeah, I did go to 3.
And yeah, I think he just like at one point he tapped out for Psychotog just to get some pressure in, and that was my opportunity. I think I either played Replenish with Malik or Abeyance backup, and that was pretty much it.
And that was the game. Yeah.
How do you feel about this new Moxless Gat deck? Do you think that it's better or worse for you than playing against the Mox versions?
I think it's easier. I don't believe he had Armageddon.
No, I don't think that I saw that on the list.
I didn't know that at the time, so I was like playing around it. But not having it kind of relieves a lot of pressure to get out fast.
Definitely seems like one of the best cards against you. Ooh, and then
I feel like the Moxless version has been much easier for me to defeat than the old versions, especially on Terrageddon.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I don't know. I used to always lose to Gaddon.
You getting them, and they have nothing.
That's true.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. So this is round 8. You played against New York, Andy Vollmer,
who also did he top 8?
he had a win.
He lost his
very
win.
deep run.
Yeah, he had a lot. He lost in the win in against
Claire.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Land still love to see it.
Yeah, me
for
too.
sure. And this is an interesting match. As a Landstill player, this matchup I always went back and forth on. But so how'd you feel about this one? And yeah, very good player, Andy.
Yeah, Landstill's always been one of the easier matchups, I feel, for Replenish. I think I'm like 72 or 75% against it. And so this is when the tournament like starts getting much easier. I feel like all my matchups kind of like lined up to be very favorable. And I think this match kind of played out classically where you just try to like create opportunistic kills. Like you'll try to do the same thing like I mentioned previously with Stapledon. Like you don't really go for it until it's time. Then you just start playing things and hope they can't like capitalize too much on their card draw. Eventually you narrow the game down to like this one window. And I feel like Replenish has the Ancient Tombs to kind of get ahead on mana so you can like start double spelling a little bit early. So no.
Yeah, I feel like the mana leaks are such a liability in this matchup for Landstill. Like the game just drags on for so long, and now you just have these dead counters in your hand. And just in general, if the Replenish player knows what's going on, like they're so good at playing around them in the early game.
Yeah, the big thing for me that I always think is interesting is when I was on Landstill, the one thing I was always really afraid of was the Worms chance. And so I do feel like the change to Abeyance just being like slightly tougher on your mana is sometimes like just a knock against the Replenish because Orange Chant is just so easy to go, to have that like 6 mana and just go like Orange Chant, Replenish or whatever.
Yeah.
but it's definitely a tough matchup, especially if the Replenish knows what they're doing.
I think if you play patiently, then you just win every time because there's not that many counters. Like there's 4 hard counters you can play around Leak. Replenish has way more cards to counter than the number of counter spells in their deck. So you just you don't waste. If you don't waste the card, you're not dumping things in the graveyard. You just hard cast the Decree, and it's all I'm trying to do is just run you out of counters.
Yeah. What was I just about to say? Oh, do you cut back on frantic searches in this matchup?
Yes, I think Frantics come out, intuitions come out. Normally, after board you can create more. It goes late, but you also are trying to create opportunity kills because you can like I mentioned, you can get ahead on land. You start jamming stuff. They have a hard time keeping up with everything because they need time to refuel. If they never resolve a fact or fiction, it's pretty easy to run them out of things.
Yeah, my experience playing against Replenish players, because I tested around with Landstill a little bit on MTGO for a while, and it was the ones that didn't really know what was up and were keeping Frantic Search in their deck and giving themselves card disadvantage, the matchup was a cakewalk. And then when I had to play against other people, such as yourself, actually I beat you though once, but yeah, it was it was so hard. It was so freaking hard. Like I said, your mana leaks just die so quickly. As long as the Replenish player is playing patiently. So you only have 4 hard counters. It's so hard to get any value out of your mana leaks, and as the game progresses, it just feels worse and worse.
So last round, it looks like you went back to back on Landstill actually. Coming into the
it's
final.
A nice way to close out the day with
final round of round 9, final round of day 1, and run it back against Joseph Brown this time.
Yeah,
and,
I think this one was on coverage.
Yes. It was a feature match. Yeah.
Yeah, game 1 was just it got to the point where if he attacked with his manland, he would only have enough left for 1 counter. So I think when he attacked and he had standstill out, I intentionally popped it during combat so he would draw cards, hoping that he would use some of those cards to play, because he only could play 1 counter or something else. And he played the Furnace, and I responded to Furnace with Intuition, which he tried to leak, and then I leaked back. So that Intuition allowed me to get the combo pieces, and next turn Replenish for the win. So that felt kind of classically how that matchup plays out.
So then game 2
was a bit tough because he had turn 1 Vice.
That's so sick.
Oh wow.
Had to play in the way to empty my hand, which my hand luckily agreed with. I played turn 2 Mage, it got countered. I played turn 3 Attunement. So already right there, I'm all right, my hand size is kind of under. I'm not taking the full damage. And I think a key turn was on 4 mana, I played Web with counter backup. And so he tried to counter the Web, which would lock down 2 of his lands and future lands, and I won the counter war. And from there, now he has 2 lands to work on, so I'm freely using attunement, and eventually I just abandoned into Replenish.
Seems pretty good.
His list looks weaker to Replenish than Andy's for sure. Andy was on 2 prohibits in the main deck, and he also had 4 nulls in the sideboard, and this one is just 3 leaks, 4 counter spells, and 1 annul. So this one looks like it. Yeah, must have been a pretty nice one for you to run into in this final round.
Super cool guy too. I think we were having a great time in the feature match area, and I believe he's somewhat local. I think he's Massachusetts or maybe a surrounding state. But it was really nice to run into someone so happy at the end of a long day.
Oh yeah. So you finish up with that win, 8-1, wraps up day 1. What's your headspace go? Are you just already exhausted, or are you just immediately super psyched that you're into day 2? Like, what was your headspace at when you finished that feature match? And
Mostly relieved that I got to leave. Like I was very hungry. I just needed to eat something and then like try to get some sleep.
makes sense.
Yeah. Luckily, we weren't there too late that day. It wrapped up on the earlier side
This
compared
was a
to
much more timely Lobster Con.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
everything ran much more smoothly.
Did you have pizza on Friday night?
I did. I had 2 slices, but that was not enough. I went to Kava afterwards and just bought like a salad bowl.
Nice.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I think this would be a good place to take a little break. Going into day 2, we can pause for a minute, take 10, 15, and then jump on
5
minutes.
5:10.
5:10.
5:10. Jump back in. Sound good to you, Brian?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back.
I did know. I actually had the inside read. Like I had the script, which
Yeah?
is why I picked.
Oh.
Because I knew he was going to win.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Yeah.
because it's professional wrestling.
Yeah, this is all scripted.
It's all been scripted.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Are we
Oh, we're
again?
recording. Oh, I
Ah.
gotta cut this out. Okay.
Oops. Okay, so we are back. Drinks full, bladders emptied, and feeling good going into day 2. And I'm sure you're feeling good right now going into day 2. How did you wake up? How were you feeling? Feeling refreshed? Get some good sleep? All that?
I actually slept pretty horribly the whole weekend.
Hell yeah.
I don't think I can sleep in hotel mattresses
I feel you.
anymore. It's just, I don't know.
You got to bring your own pillow. That's
No,
for
I
sure.
agree.
Yeah,
I was thinking about maybe like a mattress topper next time or something.
yeah. Just something to give you the comforts. Were you sharing a room or did you have your own room?
I room with Chris Roy.
Okay. Is he a honk shoe me, or did he give you a nice quiet slumber?
I'm not sure what that means.
Was he a loud
Yeah,
snorer?
that's a strange way to put it.
Was he a
See,
loud snorer?
we bring
You're
this
not
up because this is a huge point of contention for us in our Airbnb is we have to like allocate rooms for people who like sleep with a white noise machine and then known snorers.
Right. They all got
Because
demoted to
there
the
were some
first
hard
floor.
lessons learned on like the first year or 2.
People also
Yeah.
always tell me I snore, but like I don't snore.
But you're
so...
asleep, Jay, so you don't know if you
I
snore.
don't snore. I'm not a snorer.
The people who are awake you need to listen to when they do.
No, they don't know. They don't know.
The ones who are staring at the ceiling all night.
Crazy denial.
Yeah, we both snore and we both tried our best to try to mitigate that. Like we brought nose strips.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Those will help.
It was
clutch.
it was mostly the mattress that kept me up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the proverbial thorn in your side.
I mean, Lobster Con 2 is just one of those weekends where I don't think it matters what you do. You just never sleep. Like, I've never slept. And any of the bigger events that we've gone to as well, Eternal Weekend and stuff like that, you just don't sleep. Like, it's just there's so much going on, and you're just wired when you get back from these things. So, yeah.
Well, it was like Carl was saying after commentary on, I think, day 1, when he got back and he had drank like a Red Bull at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to sleep at all, though. And then just immediately fell asleep,
Yeah.
just lights out. He was just so tired.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Sick. All right.
So round 10.
Yeah, going into day 2 on like subpar sleep and
Yeah, but we're X1. We're,
X1,
you know,
yeah.
So
Oh, you know what
feeling
also
good.
kept me up? Right before I went to bed, you guys released all the deck lists.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so that kept me up because I was going through everyone in my bracket and like
Yeah.
thinking through how I was gonna play the matchup and like sideboard mapping. It's like well now I can't sleep because I know this information's out there.
Yeah, we were. We were waiting on our food to come from Uber Eats. I was just watching Shane do all that stuff, and he posted like around pretty much exactly midnight.
Yeah, it was like 12:30 or something. I think he posted.
And I just
it.
remember being like starting to say, "Who's even going to look at this right now?" And then being like, "Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
everyone's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay. No one's sleeping."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things that like I really like the day 1 or the day 2 open deck lists, but
Right.
like I didn't really have a hand in releasing the deck lists like everybody's deck lists because I think that maybe it's not something that you do just because it does encourage the like now I gotta like look at everybody's deck lists and I don't know I think that's an interesting point to think about in the future is just like does that
Is it really necessary?
Is it worth it? Is it necessary? Is it promoting people?
Well,
staying up all night to do sideboard mapping.
Yeah, it kept Brian up all night.
Exactly.
So.
It's clearly, I don't know, but so we matched into Nicholas Mojstovic, who he was didn't he top 8 as well? Am I crazy? Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So matched into him, and he was playing mono black, I believe.
With again no knights.
Shaking
But he
my
was
head.
on.
He was a bottomless pit, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, is this-
Yes.
yeah, okay.
He's playing
Ooh, in the
pit.
3 dark
he's playing pit
rituals.
rack.
Yeah, 3 dark rits, 4 racks, 2 bottomless pit, and then 2 skittering scourge, 2 wretch, 2 plague splitter, and 4 hippies.
Interesting.
Didn't he have knight too?
No.
Or
No.
Maybe in the board.
2 in the board.
2
in the
knights on
board.
the board. Good man. Good
Okay.
man.
Yeah, he definitely had knights in game 2. But yeah, I think bottomless pit is even easier than Moneyball because they rely so much on the enchantment / artifacts in their deck, which I'm already bringing in 4 seal against mono black anyway. So just gets a lot easier to dismantle their plan. Yeah, nothing really spectacular happened. I think in game 1 he ate through a decree, and I just replenished back another one, and he scooped.
You do so much work for so little gain.
Right.
Yeah, and I think game 2 he played therapy, and the next turn he ritualed into bottomless pit, and the pit actually benefit. I was lucky enough for it to benefit me because I discarded wave, and then I played the seal, and I just let it hit him before I destroyed it, so it kind of worked out in my favor that it didn't hurt me.
Oh, for sure. And then the next round, though, was you ended up taking your second loss.
That's table 1 right here.
Yeah, table 1. You get matched up against Galen, who was
undefeated.
Had absolutely.
This guy had a great run and
insane.
really good attitude every time I saw him too. But this is another example of I never know what's going on with Hermitfeb, because unlike the prior Hermitfeb match I had where I thought I was losing and then won, this one I thought I was winning at every point and then I lost.
It's classic.
In game 1, he mulliganed to 4. And then he had turned to survival, and kind of forget how he sculpted it, but I think I swords a hermit, but since he had survival, he just went to get another hermit, and I used wave to get rid of it, but somehow he I think he shapeshifted back the Karmic Guide to get back the Scrounger, and then he kept feeding cards back into his deck. Eventually, he just unearthed the Psychotog, and I was at low enough life where the Psychotog killed me. But I had so many outs that it was kind of disappointing to lose that one, because I had must have been 4 or 5 turns I could have drawn anything to win. And even when he played the Psychotog and stripped my hand, I could have still drawn a Replenish to win, and just it didn't work out. So that was a little disappointing.
Yeah, a bunch of bricks.
So Hermit will get you.
It will.
It's really well said about Hermit. So yeah, I feel the same way. It's you think you're ahead, and then the game's just over.
Okay.
It's a really skill-intensive deck. They have so many
Oh, yeah.
lines that it takes a genius to pilot it.
For sure.
Yeah, I think game 2, I just got the combo pretty easy. I think he played survival, I sealed it, and then I played a 2-mint, and his turn he played 2 hermits, and I just used that window to replenish back enough things for him to concede. Then in game 3, I kept the hand where I had turn 3 replenish, the full combo. But he had turn 2 hermit. I didn't have a swords for it. But then he top decked. Well, he said he top decked the Unearth to win on his turn 3. Because
Oh,
if he didn't
man.
have that, it would have taken another turn for him to like use the Crozen to get back
Yeah,
stuff. So
That's so gnarly.
that is
a
crazy.
little
Just don't do
disappointing,
that.
but I mean it was well played by him.
Right. And I mean, you still have a loss to give at this point anyway, so that's fine. You're still
Yeah,
super in contention.
I was really like kind of bummed out, and I was lucky that I think this was the lunch break after. I just used the entire time to like unwind and tried not to think about Magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's totally fair. So did you have a lobster roll?
I
You
did.
Indulge. There you
I
go.
did. It was great.
Hell
Nice. I didn't.
yeah. Yeah, me
All
neither.
right.
Me neither,
All right,
buddy.
Brad.
Yeah.
Me neither. So let's see. After that,
Table 4.
table 4, come back playing against
Patrick Sheldon out of the Redline Tree Folk on Green White Oath Ponza.
Yeah, I think if there's a match that's even easier than Lansdale, it would be Green White Ponza. It's like
Is
they
it,
don't.
or sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
They don't really do anything. It's like if you keep Sylvan off the board, it's pretty easy. They just try to like destroy a land per turn, but eventually once they stop, I replenish, and there's nothing
Yeah.
they can do.
Yeah, it seems like if you get attunement out ahead of them, like it's just almost impossible for their land destruction to keep up with your card filtering.
But Patrick definitely he made it really interesting. In game 1, he had really good start. He had turn 1 Mox Sylvan Library, turn 2 Sphere, turn 3 Sphere, turn 4 Sphere.
Whoa.
And I had to play a seal for 5 mana and like not use it right away to keep him somewhat locked. My turn, I sealed the sphere and then I played another seal and got rid of the second sphere. And from there, I was just like, I played an attunement. I mean, he wastelanded a couple lands, but just replenished for the win.
Yeah.
And then in game 2, also I think he had a good start. He went turn 2 Sphere, turn 3 Glow Rider, turn 4 Glow Rider.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And
Rider's sick.
I played Wave for 7 mana off of the Tomb. And then he played a second Sphere, so he had 2 Spheres, 2 Glow Riders. But on my turn, I waved out the 2 Glow Riders and then played Opalescence, and then I attacked. And then I brought back the Glow Riders. Like, I didn't want to exile them. I just kept them on the board.
Oh, that's
So he had to
funny.
pay initial 4.
Perfect.
And then I would just wave them on my turn attack and then bring them back, and it locked
That
them
is
down.
so sick.
That is really funny.
That is beautiful.
You gotta love using your opponent's prisons
Yeah,
pieces on them and
for
not
sure.
you. Yeah, that's nice.
That's awesome.
Do you feel like the green-white version is easier than the red-green version?
It's about the same. I don't know if the splash makes a huge difference against me specifically.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if the Pyroblast was enough to maybe get red-green over the line because, they can go after your attunement on the stack and then from there they might be able to lock you out if you don't have the card filtering.
It's never really about that. I mean, maybe it can be, but it's like I feel like the scariest part is if they're ever able to destroy land and waste land on the same turn, like get 2 lands. But I don't know if people do that or not, because they just like I tried to like bait out the wastelands too. I try to put out like juicy targets, like spend your turn wastelanding. It's okay.
Yeah.
So it's like I think they just use it, and that is their LD for the turn instead of trying to get 2. Because if they're just continuing to destroy 1 land a turn, it's not that hard to navigate out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so we are crushing right now. What's your record at this point? We're going to round 13. You're 11-2.
This is the, I think, winning in.
Yeah, and
for
this
sure.
is a winning in for top 8.
Because I remember going into this round, people thought they were locked,
Oh, thinking they could
and
double
then
draw.
Hodge had to come and deliver the bad news to some players
that
that
nobody
like,
was good to double draw.
I don't know if you're technically locked. I think
Yeah.
you got to play, and so here we are in round 13 at the feature match.
Yep. Against Claire on her 4-color, 4-color Oath Ponza type brew that again, must have been pretty nice for you to sit across from if you're saying that matchup is good for you.
It was a nice round to have it be my winning in. Although I think didn't she have melee mage?
Yeah, she did have 4 mages
Yeah,
on the
it's
board.
the mages
yeah.
out of the board.
That is a way for it to get out of control if she's able to line up 2 or more melee mages to lock me out of specific key pieces. But luckily that didn't happen. So it just kind of played out as I expected the match to play out. Like she played turn 2 library, I had the seal for the library, and then she was just like porting or doing one thing. Eventually I was set up enough to like Frank search out of the lock and replenish for the win. And I think game 2 was much the same. Game 2, the critical turn was when she tried to port me, and I used the mana to intuition 4 frantic searches, and then on that same turn frantic to untap 4 lands and replenish for the win.
Very nice.
But no, without seeing the mages, there's like no real resistance to what I was doing. It's just like, all right, well, you're wasting your turn to lock me, but you're not destroying enough of my things to like pin me down.
Right, and no
not
graveyard hate as well out of the sideboard or anything. So
and not enough of a clock to really put you on the back foot at any point. It sounds like.
All right. So in the last round, did you play it out, or did you
they
ID?
just drew.
You drew.
No, I
Okay.
drew with
Jeff.
I think Moneyball,
Rogowski,
Jeff.
Yeah.
That must have felt very nice.
Yeah, it's a round off for me to collect my thoughts. It was
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. Sick. All right.
All right.
So top 8, you were against
repaired.
Yeah, repaired against Jeff.
Yeah,
I got his deck list on the left.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much played out as my other Moneyball match where he like shredded my hand. There was a couple of tough spots he put me in where I needed to like get lucky. I think I got lucky in 2 spots. Early he therapied me for attunement, and then I drew an attunement to play
I
on turn
remember
2.
that. Yeah.
So that was pretty lucky. And then forget if it was this one or the next game where he played a rat, and I had 2 lands in play, and my hand was attunement land, and I had to make a tough decision and opted to discard the land, and then I drew a land to play the attunement. I don't recall what game that was, but it kind of played out where like I would expect, like he just destroyed my hand, but there was not enough pressure for him to close out before I drew into more gas.
Yeah.
So I think in game 2, game 2 was he got me down real low, and then I drew an angel, and he had no answer to the angel other than dystopias, and I just had a seal in play to destroy the first one, and then I opted to play the second seal before anything else in case he had another dystopia, and then I think he did, and the angel just went all the way.
Yeah, I vaguely remember too at one point he looked like he was in a really good spot, and then you drew a parallax wave off the top and like cracked a fetch land and slammed that and just like totally stopped his clock. And then I like vaguely remember, I think, I don't know if it was game 1 or game 2, but like, yeah, he had you pretty low and was putting on a good amount of pressure, and then the game just flipping on its head. So maybe it was that moment right there. That moment stood out to me because I was commentating this match. So there was that moment, and then also, the therapy bug where he named attunement and then just drew it off the top, and it's just like the most classic thing that happens when you play Cabal therapy. But again, another
I think
one that
he just had like Wretch and a Rat as pressure, and that's like giving me a good amount of time to draw something, and it's like almost anything I draw is pretty good.
Yeah. His Urza's Bauble thing is really neat in this deck, though, I have to say. Like, you're basically playing 56 cards, but then you also get that free intel off of it, and like, doing turn 1 Bauble plus therapy is like so sick.
Usually just see it in burn, but it makes sense here too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now I'm curious from the mono black side. How do you feel about like Dystopia and Gloom? Like, do you think that one of them is better against you versus the other, or do you think they just
Gloom is definitely better against me. I think they have to make a concession whether they want both or if they want to be better against Enchantress or Replenish. I think Gloom is better against Replenish, and I think Dystopia is better against Enchantress.
That makes sense.
And it seemed like most of them were building their sideboards to have more Dystopias than Glooms, I want to say.
Yeah, that's definitely, that tracks with kind of what we're looking at.
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah, exactly. Like in Rabovsky's list, he has four Dystopia, 1 Gloom. And I wonder if that's something that's going to change going forward. Because, I mean, Enchantress did well on the weekend, but it obviously, I mean, Replenish was kind of I think the obvious story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny before the tournament. I was testing Replenish, and I was like purposely not trophying because I didn't want my list.
The classic
Public?
4-0 drop.
Yeah, it was the 2 weeks before Lobster Con, I didn't lose a match.
Holy
it was just
shit.
like a bunch of 4-0 drops. Like
Wow.
it wasn't that many per day. It was maybe like 2 or 3 matches per day. But like I remember going through this whole stretch. I was like, I'm not losing.
That's
So
crazy.
I definitely don't want to publish. And I told everyone that I was testing with, it's like, if you want my list, you cannot get it published either. So they also like refrain from 5-0ing.
That's so sick. I
That
love
is
it.
really sick.
It's like, oh man, yeah.
Keeping it tight.
It's the Eldrazi summer thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if, yeah, anyway.
All right. So we are in top 4 now, and you are paired against Stuart on.
Yeah, he was on Burn, I believe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was the Burn
Oh
player.
yeah. This is the Orcish
Oh yeah,
librarian
the crazy
dude.
burn list.
Yeah. This one I did not see. So after your last
Rage.
after your last match, I jumped off of commentary and I was like so tired that I was like pretty checked out at this point. But I was like vaguely following along with what was going on, and I knew that you had gotten paired up against Burn, and I was like, that one might be a tough matchup. But I didn't know at the time how unconventional his deck list was.
Unhinged his deck
Yeah.
list.
I haven't seen Volcanic Hammer since I was 12 years old.
Yeah. So how did this one go?
It felt pretty easy. I'm not sure if that's a combination of him getting unlucky, because I think he was stuck on lands, or maybe, yeah, he was stuck on lands for a little bit, but also the way his deck is constructed, I think he has to make a choice whether he wants to deploy something or port me. And he opted to port me every time, which means like my life total was pretty healthy the whole time. I never felt like I was in that much danger, and because he had ports instead of mountains, like I was trying to add up what the total amount of damage he could do. Like if he had Fire Blast, and it was never like, it never felt that close. So in both the games, he played the turn 1 guy. I think I destroyed it, like swords or maybe a blast, and then I think game 1, yeah, he went to port, and I used Frantic Search, and I won. And then same thing happened in game 2. Like similarly, like he went to port me, and I Frantic Searched, and I got back some stuff. Or no, I don't think I cast a Replenish in game 2. I think I had the option to, but I respected Anarchy, and I thought I could win without a Replenish, so I just played a wave and then Opal and held the Replenish just in case he wiped the board somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This one, man, it's a cool build, but it definitely seems
It's
slower.
throwing me for a loop, man.
Yeah, it definitely seems slower.
Yeah.
Like not having to worry about ball lightning must be pretty nice for your life.
Am I right in not seeing a single copy of Price of Progress in the 75?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Brave. But obviously knows something I don't. Top
Yeah.
4, Lobster Con.
Yeah.
So, wait, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, well, no, you're not playing, like, yeah, I don't know.
I think his build was good against like Feb. I think he kind of dismantled the Feb player in top 8, and he must have other good matchups. Like if you're playing against decks that don't have Frantic Search, it's pretty good, right? Like you just lock them down enough until you have a good enough hand to just like burn them out.
Yeah, it's definitely neat. And if people want to hear more about his experience, he actually did an interview on, I think it's called The Bottomless Vault, Ty Thompson's podcast. So he had a really nice interview on there, and is just definitely a good dude with his head screwed on very straight.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Hear the rationale behind some of this.
Or sorry,
This is
it's
crazy.
called Fool's Tome. That's a podcast.
Fool's Tome.
Yeah, yeah. So
Sick.
good interview there, but alas, came up short against our hero, and now we are on to the finals, and it is a Replenish mirror.
Yeah, the Replenish
Let's
mirror, the
go.
Brian mirror. This was a very fun. I mean, it's not the most interesting match. I know we chatted a little
it's
bit
very-
after.
It is interesting in the sense that like the interactions are very complex,
Yeah,
as they had a lot of fun in commentary trying to explain.
yeah. I still need to watch
Devin and
that.
Lanny.
it's
It's a
fun.
really good clip. Yeah. Of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this was Lanny and Doomwake were on commentary and trying to explain the wave on wave interactions, or I guess in some ways lack of interaction.
You can write a college thesis on this at this point.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so I guess the big difference was the leaks versus the meddling mages, I think, between your two lists. And obviously you knew it was a Replenish mirror going in, and I think the big storyline in my head was after our last regional, where you lost in the finals in a Replenish mirror. It was, are you going to get your revenge, or what was going to go down? And I think it was definitely.
Well, how did it go?
Yeah, how did we feel?
I felt pretty good going in. I think like the Replenish mirror at the macro level, it's kind of luck based. You just whoever goes off first, but there are a lot of small things you can do to get little edges, and I feel like I had a lot of those little edges. First of all, I was on the play. That's pretty important. If I have like the nuts combo, I think I had 2 leak and 3 decree, and he had 2 decree, and that's also a pretty big edge where I can play those angles. In theory, I don't need to dig as much to find decree, because the match is like almost entirely about who gets decree in play. I know like commentary is talking about waves, but it's like I'm trying to avoid that, because if you're able to get a decree, they have to use so much to get out of it while you're still building. So, I felt pretty good. And game 1, I had a really good hand. It was just like the nuts hand. Yeah, there's nothing to really say about game 1. I had it and he didn't. Game 2, he mulliganed to 6 and I mulliganed to 5. So right off, like we're at low resources, and he had turned to attunement. He had turned to attunement, and I had a leak in my hand. So my only hope was like I'm hoping that he aggressively uses attunement, because like the way I was mapping, I was trying to map out like 5-6 turns ahead, and thinking like, all right, well, if he goes for it, how many resources does he have? Because you either go for it on 4, and in which case I can leak, or he tries to get 6, which means replenish with some sort of backup. And the way he was playing out, if he was aggressively attuning, he would have trouble getting to 6. So I just didn't do anything the first like 4 turns, because I was just sitting on leak and like trying to not get behind on lands. And I think I did hit 6 before he hit 6 lands. I think my first play was like on turn 5, I played attunement and I just kept like the mana up for leak. Then when I went to use it the following turn, he had abeyance, so I couldn't replenish that turn, and I had a choice of what to discard. So I chose to discard the minimum, to not lead him to like know what was in my hand. So I had 2 decrees, and I just discarded 1, because like in theory, like if he just sees 1, he's gonna try to play a seal to like protect himself if I replenish it back, which is exactly what happened the next turn. He played this one seal, and then on my turn, I was able to replenish with leak back up, or I used the attunement to dump the second decree plus some other stuff, and replenished it back. And that was pretty much the game right there. I think I intuition for a second opal just to like close it out. But yeah, it's like little edges like that, like trying to sequence the game and figure out what they can have. I think that's I don't know.
Did you
Worked out.
Did you feel like you had an edge in the matchup just based off of the deck lists? Like, did you feel like your deck list was better suited to the mirror?
I think it was better, but it wasn't like that much better. Like I said, it was just I had the 26 land, which I felt was important, especially in like the mirror. The 2 leaks, the 3rd, the Kree, but it's still small edges. Like it's not enough to say like this is a great matchup, but it's enough to like say, oh, if things line up, I have a better chance of winning.
Now,
Yeah.
did you bring in your mages as well?
No, I didn't bring in mage.
Okay, so
there is like this little like mini game you can play in the mirror where
yeah,
you can play mages. You name Replenish, and then you just try to play like a mage control, but it doesn't always work out. And I didn't think it was warranted, especially if I won game 1 and going to game 2. I wasn't sure if he was gonna.
for sure.
I think if one person commits to the mini game, the other person has to respect it and also do the same game. But I think neither one of us, at least not from what I saw, I don't think he was playing that game.
For sure, that makes sense. So 2-0, take it home, and so that was it. That was you know, with that couple of wins. I guess
Well,
more than
I
a
just remember
couple.
commentary was gearing up for like, this is gonna be a slog.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to get into all these crazy interactions, and then it was honestly just a pretty normal,
Yeah.
it was
kind of quick match.
which I think was how our regional, if I remember correctly, the regional was the Terra one was pretty similar, where it was
I don't
just
know, is that so?
I think.
Brian, is that so?
Yeah, there was no wave on wave.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah, nothing.
It's
no
mostly
crazy
like
interaction.
whoever can navigate their decree into play usually
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah, it was just replenish. So yeah, it's that. So I mean, I want to say like a couple of matches, but that was 17 long, grueling rounds. I'm sure.
The maximum amount of magic that one could play at Lobster Con. So crazy. Yeah. You must have been feeling pretty good after.
Yeah, I think it took me a while to really recognize what I had done. I was pretty happy about the tournament, but the next couple of days I woke up every day like wondering, was this the dream? I just dreamed that I
Oh,
won.
really? Oh, yeah.
And then like I come down to my office and I see the trophy. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And
that's so sick.
definitely a cherry on top from a long. I mean, since obviously everybody's commented, and like you said in the beginning, that most people probably know you from Magic Online. This definitely feels like a bit longer of a storyline than just this past weekend, with just how much you were crushing on Moto, and then the most recent regional, and now this just kind of crowning achievement. It's definitely it's been a very entertaining saga to watch from the outside. So kudos for all of that and for the insane accomplishment.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get the validation from the win, but I think nothing really changed that much. I think the people who knew me still kind of see me the same way, and the people who don't know me still don't know me. So that's okay.
No, you're an international celebrity now. What are you
Yeah,
talking
really.
about?
Well, it's funny because at the Massachusetts Monthly round 1, I played against the rest crew member, and after the match, he goes, "Oh, were you at Lobster Con?" And I nod, and he's like, "Cool, man. How'd you do?"
Coyle was telling me about this.
the funniest thing.
Yeah, Coyle. Yeah, and he played a side event at the event too. Coyle actually was a finalist in Lobster Con 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He lost to Brian Selden.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he
in that
very
Dreadnought mirror.
famously didn't know who Brian Selden was.
Yeah,
Right.
Coyle. So I was gonna say, very famously didn't know who Brian Selden was. So
Yeah.
just
After
that's kind of like on brand, I think.
Oh, it's incredibly on brand.
Well, it's
yeah,
funny to me because it was a very humbling moment. I'm like, well, I guess the parade's over. Back to seeing me again.
That's awesome.
That's so funny.
Yeah. When he after he lost to Brian 2 years ago, Selden gave him because I believe he had brought the world champs survivals and was like giving
Yeah,
them to
something.
all.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
giving them to
During that
people.
He was doing that year. Yeah.
That he that he beat or whatever, and was like signing them. And Coyle was telling people after that, like some of the crew after that, he was like, "Yeah, like who the fuck is this guy? Like, why is he signing a card and giving it to
Yeah,
me?"
yeah.
And
He's like, this guy's a dick.
yeah, like what the hell? Like
No idea what's going on.
And somebody was like, "Dude, like look at the signature. Okay, now like look at the gold signature
Yeah,
that's
don't
printed on the
Yeah,
card."
look at the. Go, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh."
So funny.
Interesting.
so
So,
good.
yeah, Coyle continues his behavior of just not knowing who anybody is,
Right.
and honestly not caring. And you know what?
And that's
I love
fine.
it.
We love that.
Yeah.
And crushing anyway. But yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's a really funny way to kick off your first event.
Right.
Post Lobster Con.
Oh, so are you gonna be back next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely gonna.
Defend the
Given
crown.
if I make the cutoff,
Yeah, there you go.
We'll get you in.
Yeah, we'll get you. We
Yeah.
know some people. I think.
I think that you no matter what you get to defend your crown.
Yeah.
100%.
yeah, nice.
So yeah, Brad, do you have anything else? Wanna?
Not too much. I mean, yeah, congratulations again.
Yeah.
And the next year is going to be another long haul grind.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of more pre-modern to come.
Oh yeah. Well, we got
Sorry.
the Crew Crash League.
That's true.
Also
yeah.
true.
Water.
We got the league to look forward to. I mean, there's just so much pre-modern, and we are
Oh,
so
yeah.
blessed to be surrounded by it. So
Yeah.
Actually, I guess I do have a couple of last closing questions, Brian. So, first off, any other highlights from the weekend that you want to shout out, or like things, any meaningful things that happened that you really want to just touch on?
I mean, the highlight for the weekend for me was just meeting everyone that I had met online through Magic Online. And, Premodern hasn't been on Magic Online for that long, but you can kind of get to know some familiar names, like, play against this person like
Oh, for sure.
almost every day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was nice to kind of show them people that came up to me and introduced themselves. So it made like the community feel like so tight knit, and then a lot of gratitude for the people that felt comfortable approaching me and saying hi and kind of like putting a face to the name.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then anything? I guess this is just a question. Maybe it's slightly selfish, but anything that you didn't like, or that like you'd want to change, or was it like the whole weekend was perfect? And which that's a cop out answer, but like anything that you were like, this was could have been done better.
Yeah, here are my grievances.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Hit me with them.
The pizza break took way too long.
I don't disagree. That's true.
That's a
famously-
pattern.
Famously anti-lunch break.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
I am incredibly anti-lunch break.
Now we're with you. The pizza logistics
They're
are
tough.
a little tough. I will say those pizza boxes are like those big things that keep them hot in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Heavier
Yeah.
than they look.
Yeah.
10 pizzas. You don't get a lot of opportunities to pick up 10 pizzas in your life. Just a smidge heavier than you think.
Yeah.
I believe that.
But yeah.
It is. It's tough too because they can't deliver 110 at once.
No,
So
that guy. Hey,
it's
and
always the
kudos
two
to that guy
waves.
for making several trips in downtown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cambridge
God,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's always several waves though, and I mean we don't do lunch breaks at the regionals,
No.
but
And that is a sound grievance though. But if that's your only grievance, we'll take that.
Yeah.
That's good.
But yeah, okay. Is that? I think that kind of wraps it up. Then we're good.
Hell yeah.
I'd say.
Anything else from you, Brian? Or
Any? Yeah. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Shout out to.
No, I mean, shout out to my team, Squeeze House of Pizza. I think their support meant so much, especially such a long tournament. We had a few teammates not at the event; they couldn't get in. A couple had to leave before the finals, but even through Discord messages, I felt their support. Also, like the Replenish Discord, like those guys have been at the deck for a long time, like way longer than I have. And when I was first starting out, their collective knowledge is what got me up to speed in the first place. And they're always like so courteous and just like sharing ideas, or like really appreciate them. And I guess in general, like everyone I've met in Premodern, after I'd won, my phone was like nonstop pinging from like everyone that I had ever talked to in Premodern was messaging me.
That's
and it was just like
awesome.
nonstop for like a few hours. Then it kind of
That's so
died
sick.
down, but then the Europeans woke up, and then it started pinging again in the morning.
That's awesome.
That's so sick. I love that.
I really appreciate hearing that about a deck Discord, because I'm going to be honest. I find deck Discords to be like 99% of the time insufferable. So it's funny that hearing somebody that like actually has gratitude for a deck Discord.
Maybe it's time to get on the Replenish bandwagon.
Yeah, maybe.
You wouldn't have to change colors.
Blue-white gamers.
Yes, correct.
Sick. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. Good interview, good hangs, good times.
Thanks for coming on, Brian.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for
having me.
Yep.
for your time.
Congratulations again. For us going forward, we will have potentially at some point our Lobster Con wrap up. Sometimes in the next few weeks or whatever, and we're working diligently behind the scenes to solve next year's problems and trying our best. So definitely stay tuned for some announcements on that. And besides that, I don't know. That's pretty much all I got.
Catch you next time, folks.
Yeah, sick.
Take care.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.